Welcome in, y'all. Timeshare Clarence, first and foremost. I want to thank God for waking me up this morning, blessing me with another day, another opportunity to work towards becoming the man I desire to be. With that being said, this is just going to be my round six recap. So we start in July, so this is basically the recap of June. As far as physical health, work, uh, just everything. All right. So the good, the bad, the ugly. So the good pretty much got to the end of the road, end of the rainbow with the disability process. So I am 100% now. Going forward, that changes my entire situation. So now it's a different standard, quality of life, you know, instead of just having that peace of mind that I had somewhere to stay. I had a peace of mind that I don't got to worry about paying my bills or taking care of whatever I need to take care of for myself or my kids, or, going to debt, borrowing money to just survive. So that's a big thing. Work wise, terrible month, not because, well, I didn't perform when I was at work, but I wasn't even at work a lot. So started the month off after I got back from the trip from St. Louis for Sophia's dance recital. And the first week, worked my little few days. Didn't get a lot of tours. It wasn't busy. I worked as a manager one day. I think I worked as a rep for 2 days. And then my my off days are Saturday and Sunday. So took my off days and went back to work Monday. And when I went to work Monday, I was feeling great. About halfway through the day, I got sick. I started getting sick. So started kind of feeling like I had something in my throat, just couldn't get out, coughing a little bit. And it got progressively worse throughout the day. So about 2 p.m., I pretty much accepted, hey, this is just not something being stuck in my throat that I can't get out. I'm getting sick. So I was speaking with one of the other managers. I told her I'm not gonna be here because it pisses me off to no end to see all these people at work sick, and it's a lot of them. They be walking around with tissues blowing their nose and then holding the tissues in their hands, touching shit and whatever else. So that's frustrating. And now I'm dealing with it firsthand. Like, one of these motherfuckers that got me sick. So I'm super salty because the goal was to work as much as possible before the kids got out there. I knew my kids would be brought to me on the 22nd. So the game plan was work 6 days a week until they get here, try to get as many deals, make as much money as I can. Now I'll basically work like 3 or 4 days and I'm not being able to work. So I didn't think it was a big deal. I'll take off a couple of days, I'll come back and we can work our days off. So I'll make up for it. I'll take off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday if I need to. And then I'll just pick up the extra time. I'll work over the weekend. I'll work on my off days. Well, Tuesday, miserable, chills, congestion, headache, coughing, body aches, all of that. Just trying to hydrate and rest. I didn't eat anything. Same thing Wednesday, same thing but Thursday, it finally like kind of dawned on me, like, I need to check my temperature because I'm like alternating between like sweating profusely to having chills and all of this. And I've done all the things that I've either been taught to do or learned to do when I'm sick. Did the Vicks and bundled up and trying to sweat it out, and went and bought some Jack so I can make some hot toddies. I'm taking the Theraflu, and I'm doing all of the things that I know to do to make myself better, and none of it's working. And then I took my temperature and it was 103.6. That was on a Thursday. So now, because like most men, I don't have, well, I would assume most people, honestly, like, I don't think most people have a desire to go to the hospital. I just know that in my experience is always more likely for a mom to take their kid to the hospital or tell the daddy. Like I'm gonna be all right. I need a couple days. I mean, whatever. But now it's like, man, I'm gonna have to go. Close friend of mine text me like, with the fever and everything, probably need to go to urgent care, but I'm still resisting this. I don't want to go to urgent care. One, in part, like I wasn't sure whether or not the VA hospital was open over the weekend. So it's like, if I'm going anywhere, I'm going to the VA. I'm not trying to go somewhere else and then have to be paying some money. That's just real. I don't got no money, whatever. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna ride out the night and then I'll see how I feel tomorrow. So my fever kind of broke. So Friday, it went down to 99. So I think it was like 99.9. And I'm thinking, okay, so it's over. And then now, but I'm checking it now when I get up in the morning, sometimes throughout the day. So while I'm thinking that I'm at the end of this, I've taken off all week. Now I'm at my off days. So after these off days, I'll be good. So, yeah, I didn't go. So, the fever it didn't go completely away, but it went to where it wasn't like 103. It was fluctuating between 99 and 101. And then I knew I wasn't completely better, but I wasn't really coughing anymore. And I felt good enough to where it's like, okay, I'm done being sick. I'm just drained from being sick, but I'm no longer sick. So I went back to work. As soon as I went to work, everything flared back up. I ended up going to the VA. They prescribed me some antibiotics and just a bunch of stuff. They gave me like 5 prescriptions. And so now I'm out another week. But now I'm like, I'm not going back until I'm good. But at this point, now the kids are coming out here. So take that whole week off. The kids get here that Sunday and I'm still not feeling great. So I'm just like, I'm gonna take this time because I'm still not healthy anyway. So, it's better off for me to take off and spend time with my kids instead of trying to rush back to work, because work gonna be there. And honestly, work is not that important. Now, I know I need to make money, but not more than I need to make sure that I'm healthy, and I need to take advantage of whatever time I have with my kids. So yeah, I didn't work like the whole month. I think I worked 5 or 6 days. So I didn't have a good month. I didn't write any business. So from that standpoint, it was not good. Being sick and not eating, and over that course of that time period, I lost like 20 pounds. I ended up losing like 17 pounds overall. Now, obviously, some of that I gained back. But after gaining so much weight, even though that ain't how I want to lose weight, like I was glad that I lost that weight back, because I just ain't want to be dealing with it. So, but the kids here, I got them settled. And then I took them to meet Frida, because she's who's helping out. And I really appreciate her. Cause man, like I just can't leave my kids with anybody. And, like professional childcare costs a lot of money that I don't really have. I don't have a car. Just things kind of lined up in June to resolve themselves. I am always gonna be concerned about who's keeping my kids and how that's gonna go. But, I'm not gonna just take my kids and drop them off to somebody. So I went over there so they can get introduced and sat there so they can get acquainted before I went and took them over there by themselves. But, they love it. Frida's great with the kids. I have the things in place, even though I was kind of not even utilizing them the way that I can and I should. But long story short, uh, all of the anxiety from April and May, once everything kind of played out in June and I got the kids and the situation settled, so all of that anxiety is gone. So that's a win. I have the kids. I see how easy it is, because it is really easy for me to have my kids. It's actually easier for me to have my kids. Like, my life is easier with my kids being here than it is with them being across the country, because I don't worry about myself. I'll neglect a lot of things and procrastinate on a lot of things if it's just me, because there's no sense of urgency. If I don't have something, I can do without it. But when they hear, it's like, okay, we need this, I gotta make sure I got it. And then them being here give me a certain boost as far as my spirit. Like, when I get off work, I'm gonna see my kids. I'm not gonna get off work and come home and play Madden or look at, not even watch some on Netflix, look at everything I want to try to see if I want to watch on that, and then end up doing nothing, or again, trying to reach out to somebody just to get out the house because I don't want to be here feeling depressed and lonely, whatever. So like, having my kids for me is great. Yeah, it's more responsibility. I gotta do more, but it's not hard if you manage it the right way. I've always been a very structured person. So now my routine is like great. I could really see having my kids full time if I was able to. Like, it would, my life would be so much better if my kids were here full time. But anyway, I know that that's not in the cards, at least for right now. And if it ever is, this is the first experience I've had with the younger two kids without Aaliyah. And it's not to take a shot at her, but it's so easy to just parent Sophie and Micah, because I don't have anything working against me. The expectations for them, because they're younger, are not that much. Sophia, I still gotta tell her a million times, but I mean, she gotta empty the dishwasher. So, put the dishes up and put dishes in the dishwasher. They clean up after themselves. But y'all see, it's quiet, it's peaceful. It's 8:30 in the morning. They used to sleeping in. I'll be up at 4 or something. So I can do everything I need to do, get the house straight. I've been making them smoothies in the morning. I cooked breakfast for them the first day before I took them to childcare, but Micah didn't eat, and waking him up early, and it don't even matter what time of day it is. If Micah is sleepy, he's a different person. So I got to take that into consideration. So, just being able to navigate, make the adjustments in real time to see how different things play out, as long as I'm actively trying to create the situation, the environment, the schedule for all of us to have a good day, because I want them to have a good day. So like, yesterday was the best example. I went to work late. Excuse me. So instead of getting up in the morning, Micah tired, I'm still trying to, and like, he literally crying and all of that, trying to get him ready to go, letting him be able to sleep for a couple extra hours, taking them, dropping them off, getting to work. As soon as I get to work, I get a tour and start working, versus the opposite of, trying to get them up at 7, rush to get out the house. He cranky, he ain't had enough rest, and then get them to childcare. I get to work. It's 9 a.m. and then I got this meeting, and then I got this training, and then I got another, that by the time that stuff over, it's only 9:45, and I'm not about to get a tour until 11:15. So then it's just a bunch of dead time that's being wasted, or I'm trying to occupy my time doing mindless scrolling on Facebook or TikTok or whatever else. Like, I could see how much better this would be for me having them and having this routine, regardless of if it's cost more money, because the money don't matter. And now I'll have more money. So June, I lost 17 pounds. I had really a terrible month at work, but the flip side of that is one of my friends, told me I could pull some money from my 401k. So I did that. That resolved like the financial stress. Same time, my disability finally is at 100%. So not only is it resolved in the moment, it's more stability going forward. So yeah, like for the year, January, February, March, I won those rounds. April may have been a swing round. Could have gone either way. May was 10-8, me losing. Like I got dominant. That was just a devastating round. But June, I felt like June was 10-8 my way. Like, even though it wasn't scripted or didn't play out, ideally, it was kind of a turning point. It's that shift in the fight where you see, one fighter starting to get his time and starting to get his range. And the other fighter is starting to get tired. And now it's like, yeah, it might have been a close fight, but now you see it shifting in one direction where this person is, even if they're not dominating yet, they starting to put together punches. They starting to perform the way that they train, how they wanted to perform going into this fight. So that's what June kind of represents for me, is that turning point in the fight where, okay, kind of got the distance, kind of got the timing. The body work that I've been putting in is starting to affect, you know what I mean? And then obviously the opponent is life, so you ain't gonna beat life. But just from a standpoint of progress, things are turning around and headed in the right direction right now. I was also able to help my brother out, which is a big deal to me, because I'm not a person who won't help, right? But if I can't, I can't. And I hate being in a position where I can't. And I try to make smart decisions to put myself in a position where I can help. And not only my brother, and Devin has been there for me. We've been there for each other at different times, in different ways. But it's been times where he needed some money, I needed some or whatever. But if we have it, then I can't say that at this point in my life, like, if he got it, I'ma have it. If I got it, he gonna have it. But if I ain't got it, ain't nothing I can do. So going through my stuff, as well as because I had to deal with mine, it put me in a situation where I could at least try to help him out as well. So that's a win. I know it's not as much as I would like to be able to do to help out, but it's better than not being able to do nothing. And then the same thing with one of my friends. So was able to help him out a little bit, just because my financial situation is getting better, but I want it to be way better. So now, yeah, I'm back to kind of how I was going into April. I was excited, or how I was going into May. I was excited going into May. So like, I'm excited going into July, because now, again, anxiety gone, financial stress gone, confusion or uncertainty about what I need to do at work gone. Kids are here. Childcare is resolved, because that was the biggest source of stress was, man, when the kids get out here, what am I gonna do about childcare? Because Frida had agreed to watch them, but then she told me she wasn't gonna be here. So it was like, man, but childcare and transportation are the two biggest things. And my brother allowing me to use his vehicle, take care of the transportation. Again, I was able to help him out financially in return. So it's a win-win for both of us. So transportation and childcare were the two biggest sources of anxiety or concern. and it's resolved. And then now again with the disability, so now it's like work money can be invested. Work money can be focused on quality of life, improving quality of life, not surviving. So it is a really good round. And I would score a 10-8. So I won the first three, 10-9. Even if I say now I lost April and then May was 10-8. So that would have put, after the first 5 rounds, going into round 6, it would have been a draw. I won 3 rounds, I lost 2 rounds, but I lost one of those rounds 10-8. And I would consider round 6 10-8 my way. So I'm up 2 points. So for the year, I'm up 2 points, and I'm gonna try to increase this lead and put some distance in this fight. As they say, not leave it up to the judges. And it's still some bad judges, but this is a life metaphor more so than it is boxing. It's just, I love boxing so much, and that's the way I can wrap my head around staying in the moment, not just like the day or the week, but like break it down to where it makes sense to me, to not get too high, not get too low, not get ahead of myself, and also kind of reset to reflect, because yeah, I was feeling good after April and got humbled. And that's how fights work. But now it's renewed focus. Sometimes you need to get rocked. I got rocked, but I recovered, and I'm gonna try to make sure that not only do I win this fight, but I dominate the second half. So that's my round 6 recap. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Until next time, Timeshare Clarence. Peace.